Have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream, and we're just waiting in line to wake up? Have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream?
I swear it's always some type of glitch every week. Y'all bear with me. Every time, V&O, what you know. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining me once again on the V&O. We're not going to be long bringing our guest in because I'm a little late on the show, and I know some of y'all old folks got to get to bed. So I gotta give a shout out to my Bears, man. Y'all, look, I didn't go on last week. I didn't go on last week and talk about them. That was horrendous. You know, like if you a Bears fan, man, I know that we all hate Green Bay. The Bears better be glad. Y'all better be glad because I was in true Bears fashion. I was gonna throw them in the dirt. I was gonna really talk about them last week because I don't know what happened. This week we happened to pull one out. Yo, go Bears. You know what I'm saying? Bear down. I'm always with it. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I didn't even watch last week. I couldn't. I couldn't. I absolutely could not watch that last week. It was horrible. And I had my show. Y'all have to forgive me. I think last week was cool. We talked about why people hate men. just in general, or like, you know, just men can't get no love in the world. Y'all go back and watch that one. I was a little tired, but you know, the show must go on. You know, I'm very much so open book here on the V&O. I have to let you know if you thought that something was wrong. I was tired, man. I was tired. I had a long night the night before. I walked at the Alzheimer's walk, and then I still decided to bring something, and I had to do my homegirl justice and what she wanted to. She had been asking me about that topic. Y'all, a couple weeks ago, I had on my man Andre Renee, and he was an author. A.R. Wrights, that was him right there. Yo, I checked out his book, and I literally just had to sit in silence because this book was just. It was, as a matter of fact, y'all hold on one second. Hold on one second. Woo. All right. Behind Her Smile. I think me and him talked about this book, and he said that he cried. He said it took him, I think, forget how long he said it took him to write that book. That book was, this book was, I guess you can say, phenomenal. It's real life. If you got anybody, the book dealt with abuse in the family, trauma in the family, sexual abuse in the family, molestation. And the weird dynamic that happens. And if you know somebody that needs some healing, or you know somebody with that story, at the end of the book, it was testimonials, and these just I want to say horrible stories. He put 3 stories at the end. They are bad stories, but these stories can also help somebody heal. Y'all go check this book out, man. Go to arwrights.com, and Behind Her Smile is a very, man, it's very impactful. If you know somebody that's dealing with with things like that in their family, get it for them. If you're not dealing with it, get it for them. Again, thank y'all for joining me here on the V&O, and we are ready, man. I got my girl, Ms Bibbs, aka as I knew her, Nene, and she is really doing her thing. And I know y'all saw the banner, right? You saw up to $400,000 in funding, and I hope like that we not just thinking that I just turned into like Mr. Money or like this is a business deal. It's not. I want to highlight our business, but man, you have to hear the story behind Thirkles Funding. She gonna come on and she's going to correct me if I got that wrong. But y'all gotta hear this story, man. Like there's a story behind this $400,000 she can get you. She can still get you this 400,000 for your business. I believe 20,000 if you are just for a personal deal. But man, she has a great story behind that. But why am I sitting here talking about her when she's right here? So without further ado, my homegirl, imogene Bibbs of Thirkles Funding. Hello.
Hey. You said it right.
Thirkles? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things. Is it Threekles or Thirkles?
It's the I before the R. It's
okay. Yeah, right.
Grammar.
Right. That's that. I almost made it in GT. In the GT program. I remember you being in the GT program, I believe, at Tolliston.
No, I was at Emerson.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
are. Oh, you shouldn't have never told me that. Now I'm gonna make you sing because I forgot that you are.
Hey, I can sing too. That's not a problem.
Look, y'all, hire her for your wedding or something. Because this, I mean, I forgot she can blow. She went to school for singing. I forgot that she could sing. Speaking of singing, forgive me, we're gonna get right to you, but I do this sometimes. My sister, y'all didn't see me cry like 4 weeks 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. I'm not crying today, but I have to highlight this because I just love her. I love her and I'm so excited for her. The reason I said singing, because my sister is having me sing at her wedding, and I will put that travesty on here. I tried to tell her that I don't do this. Now my cousin had me singing at her wedding, and they say I did good, but I made a couple mistakes. Now they got me singing at my sister's wedding, and I just don't know how it's gonna go. Brandy, I love you. I really don't. I really don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm so excited for my sister. She is going through a time.
Yes.
Y'all check this out.
'Cause some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby, and some people want diamond rings, some just want everything. But everything means nothing, baby, if I ain't got you.
No tears.
Oh, who sang that version?
I have no idea, but that is dope, ain't it?
I love what he did, how he did that. That was nice.
Yes, she's straight up like I love Alicia Keys, but I might take that maybe because we haven't heard it as much, but I'll take that.
Right.
I will take that. Let's talk about you now. Let me get my man AR Rights off the screen, and let's talk about you because you have this man. I happened to pop in on you on Facebook, and I'm reading the post. You know, I thought it was another long post. I read long posts because I'm like, if somebody want to bear their heart, then I'll let them. And I popped in on your post, and I was like, yo, like, man, I'm a softie. Look, I don't know, like, if I was when I was younger, but you literally, I'm sitting up here driving. I was driving while I was reading. I think I was stuck in traffic on the way home.
Okay.
And you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. And I was like, wow, she's really an overcomer. Like, I gotta have her on the show. I'm interested in your business, but I gotta have this on because it's another little boss Bibbs out there waiting to hear your story. So we met actually at church. I think we were talking. I was 12 or 13 at Family Christian Center. We were both
Yep.
in the play. If you live in this area, everybody in this area, I don't care what demographic you are, what your
Right.
background is. I don't care if you're Christian or not. You know about the Passion play, Jesus of
Exactly.
Nazareth. You done got some free tickets or offered to go.
Mhm.
And we were in that play as kids, and we acted a fool. I don't know
Oh
about
yeah.
you.
Did
We
a lot of
used to
stuff we
really,
wasn't supposed to be doing.
yeah, right. Right. All backstage, and we acted a fool, but I met you there. You were a wonderful young lady, and some of the things that you had going on in your life, I did not know uh your story.
Yeah.
Where does your story start at?
Um, you're not alone. A lot of people didn't know because I was so quiet. Um, I was very, very quiet. I was very closed off. I didn't express a lot at all outwardly. It was a lot inwardly. Um, and it started at 5. It started at 5 when I was in the accident actually. I hope you didn't go off. I don't see you on the screen, but
No, I'm
okay.
here. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm letting you tell your part.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
get the highlight.
yeah.
But no, our car was hit by a semi truck. It was myself, my mom, my brother. We were in the back seat, and my dad was driving. My grandmother was in the passenger seat in front, and yeah, we got hit head on by a semi truck. I woke up. I saw the semi literally right there. I could literally climb in the front seat and touch the semi truck. That's
Oh
how
my God.
close it was. And dad was having an asthma attack. Grandma, she was gone.
She was gone.
She was gone. She was dead. Yeah, she wasn't
Oh
breathing,
my God.
nothing. Um, yeah, it was bad. And I remember it like it was yesterday, and I was 5. So 34 years now.
Whoa. So you 5 years old, and you literally, I mean, I guess you could say you watched your grandmother go,
Yeah.
and you said your dad was in the front seat, and what happened with him?
He was having an asthma attack when I woke up, and I was told that he died on the way to the hospital.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, that was my last memory of my father.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, I as when I met you, I think you spoke about your father, but I don't remember, I don't recall. I think I did recall you saying that your father passed away. Didn't know how,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? At 11, 12, you was holding it together. You know what I mean? What happened from there? I mean, that's trauma. I guess you could say it's trauma one,
Yeah.
trauma number one. You know,
That
that should have caused you to fail already.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I did. I made a
Yeah.
lot of mistakes as
Yeah.
I grew. But I think the way that I handled it, because I kept everything in after that.
Yeah.
Anything I went through, it was all inwardly. I didn't talk about it. Unlike my brother, he
Mhm.
expressed everything outwardly.
He
So
did. He was very emotional. Yeah.
he was the one getting into trouble and
Yeah.
fights and just all over the place. And I was just quiet.
Made good grades.
Yeah.
Went to Emerson and sang.
And it
Wow.
was at Emerson when my mother found out that I knew what happened because she thought I didn't remember the accident.
You talking about that's about 6 years, ain't it?
It was 7 years later, actually.
7 years later.
7 years later, I had to write a poem. Our English teacher told us to write a poem in class about something that was near and dear to you, something that
Yeah.
was close to your heart. And so I wrote about the accident. And of course, we had the computers back then, the big fat computers. So she saw it on the computer and she framed it on pretty cardstock paper. And I still have it to this day. And that's when she told me, she was like, I didn't know that you remembered that. I was like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I wonder how she felt. I mean, now like we're parents, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Now we're parents. Like you almost wonder how she felt. I had to highlight that's my man Greg Gray.
Yeah.
This show is possible because of Dope Living TV,
Oh,
uh Dope Living TV Network. These people are just some dope people. Thank y'all for showing up. Mo, Greg, Marcy, Gina, always showing up. Gina's an author. Holler at Gina if you need some author advice for this book that you're gonna come out with. But
okay.
yeah, but like I was saying, like as far as like a parent being a parent, that's gotta hit hard. Like I can only imagine if I hadn't talked to my child about something and just to find out, oh, you knew about that? You talking about 6, 7 years of trauma
Yeah.
that you kept this in. And then
Yeah.
you start thinking about the times that you might have been acting out, you know what I mean? And they was mad at you, and then they
Mm-hmm.
realize, like, wait a minute, she remember all of this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Your mother was such a wonderful person. I loved your mom. I remember her, Kevin. I remember Kevin, you said like he wasn't bad. You know what I mean? We grew up in the G. So for Gary, Kevin wasn't bad. Like
Y'all didn't see what I saw. Kevin, like I think you might have missed the one incident that happened at the church. I don't know if y'all was still there, but
yeah.
yeah, Kevin went through some
He,
a lot of stuff.
yeah. But he was like, but Kevin was always funny.
He was.
Uh
And that was a coping mechanism, I realized.
yeah,
It was a
yeah,
coping mechanism for him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened from there? Were you so you going on along in your life? Your mom finds out that you know about this. Did she talk to you about it, or how did things go, or did
We talked a little, but not
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Because I still didn't know how to really express myself
mm-hmm,
yet. So we talked about it a little. By this time, Kevin was 16. I don't know if I think he might have been an LCJC at the time.
oh,
Yeah,
Kevin was bad. I didn't know Kevin.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. He expressed all of his anger and
Oh,
everything outwardly, like everything
wow,
out on the table. Yeah, Kevin got in a lot of trouble.
wow,
But that's
wow,
the thing, a lot of the focus turns on him, but he also ended up having seizures as
yeah,
a result of the accident. That's why. And then, his weight was up and down. He was on his
yeah,
medication. Like he was going through a lot. And he was going through all of this through his teenage years.
right. How
So
old was Kevin? Kevin was in the car too.
yeah,
Oh
Kevin
my
was
God.
9 at the time.
Are
Of
you
that.
serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know this. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So where do you go from there? What happens after that? Like you go to I don't think I kind of went away for high school, so I didn't really get to see y'all in high school like that. My
Um,
family still went to the church, but I was away in high school. So
yeah.
what happened? How did you deal with it as you got older?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really deal with it. I just went through the motions, going through what every teenage girl goes through. They look to their friends for advice on love and all this other mess. And, they don't know any more than we do because we're the same age.
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Right.
know, it's,
Right.
I made a lot of mistakes, looking for love in all the wrong places.
Hmm.
Um, just and still doing what I'm supposed to do,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
getting good grades, still being
Yeah.
active in school and being in the plays at church and in school. And
Mhm.
I started dating, which
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to. I was sneaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that.
Oh, you
Um,
was dating when we was 12. I remember.
yeah,
Ty. Yeah, I remember Ty.
yes,
Yeah.
that was my boo.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty was cool. He was cool. He had a good heart, it seemed, even
Yeah,
at
he
a young.
did. He did.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then fast forward, got pregnant at 18.
I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, maybe I did. I think I might
Yeah,
have known that.
because all of us at the church, it was bam, 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 bam. We all just followed in like a domino effect.
Yeah, yeah. I remember Mary was. Yeah, I was very much so. I think still in love with her, and then I found out she was
Yeah,
pregnant, and I said, "What?"
yeah,
uh,
dreams got crushed.
but so yeah, I do remember. I remember coming back and sitting on that row, and yeah, and then I think I got married not too long after that. But so you got pregnant.
Wow.
Did you? What was your relationship like at the time?
With her father,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I was still young, so
Yeah.
I was in my second semester of my senior year.
Okay.
So I didn't start showing until almost graduation, actually. So which was
You
a
was
great thing.
Yeah, you was a stick.
Yeah, I was puny, but I
Yeah.
had a six pack until I was 6 months. So
Re- Really? Really? Did you run track too?
no, I just loved working out.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do any sports because of the scoliosis surgery. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I had scoliosis
Wow.
surgery when I was 15.
Oh my goodness.
They put a
Might have
rod in
been because
my
of
back.
the accident.
No, it's actually hereditary.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, my
Okay.
mom had it, my brother had it,
Okay.
but mine was just more severe. And she
Okay.
wanted me to have the surgery to, avoid any major issues as I got older. So
Right, I got you. But look, Nene, everybody chiming in about the money. They want
I
y'all,
know,
we get to the money. We're gonna get to the money. Cause
right?
see, look, that's the first thing. Before I talked about the V&O, I asked about the money first too. And me and her got something going on. I went through a process yesterday where I'm trying to do some things.
That
So
part. We
she
gotta
gonna help
put
me work
that
out some
site
things.
down there
Somebody
too.
said yes, yes, money. We are getting to that. Miss Majors, we gonna get to the money, but there's uh it's such a unique story behind this money.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna pull out. I always pull out clips. I'm gonna pull out the money part after the show this week. But we got to get to how you even got here. So scoliosis, watching your father, watching your grandmother die,
mhm,
not watching your father die, but him dying a couple minutes after that.
mhm.
Pregnant at 17. You should have failed.
Yeah,
You
I
should
should have.
be, yeah, right
I should
now,
have.
yeah, yeah, right now at even at 40, you're not 40. I'm sorry, don't let me throw 40 at you. You are not 40. Yeah, you not that you looking, but even at 30 in your 20s,
Yeah.
you should have failed.
Oh yeah,
And it should have carried right on into your 30s. I'm talking about just statistic wise.
yeah.
You shouldn't be boss Bibbs,
No,
Airbnb queen. You shouldn't be no queen. You welfare queen. That's what society says. That's what
yeah.
all of this should have led to. What happened? We're not even done yet. What
Right.
happened after that?
There's so much more in there that I left out, but I'm gonna, for time's sake, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
just go into the
synopsis.
extra
Yeah.
stuff. But man, me and her father separated before she turned one. It was a very, very bad relationship. We were both young. I
Hmm.
wasn't perfect. He wasn't perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
We really weren't even in a relationship when I got pregnant. We was
Right.
just kicking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bam, here
Yeah.
comes the baby. It's like, oh, what do we do?
Yeah.
So we decided to make it work, see what happened, and he became very physically abusive. It was bad. He literally tried to take my life.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I saw you just kind of I was reading your story, and you just kind of went into this thing where you said and the gun went off. I was like,
yeah,
what with the
yeah.
gun?
I think about it and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so stupid for even like fighting with him.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even
Yeah.
went over there, but I literally all I wanted was my phone. He took my
Really?
phone and I just wanted my phone. And I went to his sister's house. His niece opened the door and he literally came straight at me with a gun, straight at me. Pointed it right in my head, right in my temple, right here. And I
Wow.
was just like, I just want my phone. Just get my phone.
Wow.
Tussled, and the gun actually went off, literally right by my foot.
What was he? Was he mad? I mean, what?
He was. We weren't together. We were not in a relationship. We had broken up. I mean, before that, he had. It's so crazy. It's so much. But before that, I would say maybe about a month or two before that, he had bleached and cut up all my clothes. It was a lot, and he was upset. He just, he could not have what came with me, and he wanted us to be together. It was a control thing. But I really honestly feel like he saw some things as he was growing up, and that's what made him act the way that he did with me. Because after that, after he got out, it was just like he literally confessed to me and said he didn't even want to be with me. Like, he was telling his family that our kid was not his. Like, he was ashamed to be with me because of
Did he
how
admit that he was in love?
No,
he didn't. It sounded like he was in love
later on, yes, but it was so much up and down, right? It was too much. I could not handle all of that coming fresh out of high school. So we, the gun went off. He literally kicked me dead in the smack middle of my back, out the door, threw my phone shattered, went home, called the police, they took him to jail. And that was that. But we did not get back together after that.
That's probably a good thing. It was... I think did I lose you? You there? We always have some technical difficulty. So you know what I'm about to do? Oh, did I lose you? I was about to say. Okay. So that happened. So you split up. I'm assuming that hopefully you get a peace of mind at this point in time. No,
because I was still broken. I was still a broken person. Like, just because that happened, it still didn't take away the fact that I went through all this other stuff that I didn't even know was a part of why I chose to be with the people that I did, why I, acted the way that I did. And going through life as a young adult, a young mom, a young single mom, trying to navigate working, going to school, getting her up. It was hard. And then, of course, seeing how our city, Gary, Indiana, was being literally torn apart. Like, they was trying to close all the schools. There wasn't really anything there for me to stay. And I was just thinking, like, I can't raise my kid in this city. So I got to do something. And I moved to Indianapolis. And of course, I moved there. Everything's cut off. No food stamps, no mom down the street, no support.
You're still in the same state.
But it was Indianapolis. And I went from making $6 an hour to making $11 an hour. Yeah, that part. So I had to pay for daycare. I had to commute. I had to do so much on my own. And I had a significant other at the time, because this was literally 2 years later when I moved. But it was hard. I was still young.
20 what? 21, 22? 21. Yeah. And you moved, and you took a leap. So you always had this in you.
I cut out. I didn't even have a job. I got an apartment, locked it in the lease, and just cut out.
Yeah. You took that's a huge leap for a 21-year-old. To move away, especially from everything your security. I guess at that point in time, it's not much security. You was moving away just to get a change of scenery. And Indianapolis is Gary. I love Gary, don't get me wrong. And everybody say the same thing about the G. Like, sometimes you just got to get away. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just need a minute. A lot of people just need a minute. I love the city of Gary. We are products of the city of Gary, but most people will tell you that you need a breather sometimes. Sometimes you need to breathe because it's too much heartache there at times that people have gone through. I just moved to Maryville. I didn't take that leap.
See, if I moved back, I would definitely move to Cherville. I would love to move back home.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna get some property there for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely.
The Northwest Indiana is a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, and we right by the city of Chicago, which is
Yes.
it's, it's within the last couple of years. It's different. We're not gonna sit here and bash nobody's city. I work in the city of Chicago, so I can't say nothing bad like that. But it's changed just a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's one of those places you probably like need to get away from sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'm happy to come back to Indiana at the end of the day some days. Uh, but back to you. So you moved to Indianapolis. You got
Yeah.
your whopping $11 an hour job, except now you don't have no assistants.
Thought I was
Working,
doing something.
huh? You
I
said
really
what?
thought I was doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
But until them bills hit.
Right. That part.
Yeah, until them bills hit. And so where are you working at? What are you doing? Where's your mind at?
So at the time, mind you, because of the accident, I was getting an annuity check every year on my birthday.
Okay.
Got it for 10 years.
Okay.
And I took that. Of course, it wasn't enough to last, so I still had to work, but it was a nice cushion. So I took
Right.
it every year. I paid as many bills as I could, paid rent, car note, all that good stuff, insurance. And then whatever I had left over from my paychecks, I just, spent on food and little stuff here and there. So
Yeah.
I was okay. But I did not know how to manage my money.
Yeah.
Because that was not the smart thing to do. Well, the
Yeah.
smart thing would have been to invest it, but we weren't taught that.
Yeah, no. You just trying to
So,
live. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, money was funny, and I ended up not being with that person that I moved to Indy with. It just wasn't a good fit. He wasn't a bad person at all. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing stepfather to my child.
Yeah.
But he had a lot of growing to do.
Yeah.
So we separated, and I ended up meeting somebody else, and then I moved to Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I have been for 17 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you just took another. Why did you make that leap? Was it for a job or what?
I was in love.
Oh gosh. that
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I was
Here's the thing. Being a father, I understand that you were without your father at probably a pivotal time in your life, especially your teenage years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like that love that a father gives, a lot of times you find young women going and they're searching for that love. You know what I mean? And even even if the father's around, a lot of times you might have some dysfunctionality there, and they still,
Right.
they still don't know, and so they still searching,
Right.
or it's just toxic. You know what I mean? But
And I had a stepfather.
you did, yeah.
That
Is
was
it-
another piece that I didn't really want to get into, but he was around from 9 to 13,
Okay.
but he wasn't around
Yeah. Yeah.
because he was on drugs.
Yeah. Wow.
But I didn't know that growing up. I didn't find that out until I was almost grown.
Are you serious? Was he functional?
Yeah.
He was functional
functional,
drug.
but he would disappear for months at a time.
Wow.
And of course, in the Black family, you don't ask questions. You stay in a child's
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I try to be an open book, you know what I mean? I try to be don't get me wrong. That I smoked for the longest, and I hid it from my kids just because it was just the stigma, you know what I mean? I vape, but I don't smoke anymore. But I look at I hate that I even like tried to hide that from my kids, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just because I was trying to sneak outside, you know what I mean? But it's
They
like
knew.
I'm sure they knew. I'm sure they knew. And it's something stupid like that. I would have rather just shared it and told them, hey, don't kill yourself like daddy doing. But I don't know. I was young, and it was in my young mind that I just didn't understand that it's better to be open. But you are right. And I think I got that just because, like you said, uh man, it's such a huge dynamic to that. Like in the Black family, you don't put things like that out there, not even to each other. We just sit and we sit around and we hide things about ourselves, which a lot of this stuff is very much so human. I believe in, it's just the human condition.
Yeah, exactly.
And it causes us to almost look at each other and judge each other. I believe it causes us to judge each other because like we have this vision of perfection in our head, even though nobody there, everybody you sitting around with, everybody got something to hide, and nobody is that version of perfection. But we hold that. Oh, look at her dress. You know what I mean? Look at this. Look at their that. And meanwhile, we sitting up like, bro, who you know that is this that you have in your head?
Yeah.
Nobody that you know. Everybody's daddy, especially in the hood. Everybody's daddy or somebody uncle on drugs or in jail, and a lot of that wasn't really our fault. Don't get me started on the crack epidemic.
Man,
Like it's look, I've talked about this a couple times. You get people in a bad situation, and then you give them a drug to take them at least mentally out of that situation. I do crack. Like, I'm just saying, like
especially during that era. Oh,
yeah,
they had it bad.
yeah, you broke, you got a family, you decide to get married young, and now you got kids, a wife, and you got these responsibilities. You got a $2 an hour job because there's racism around and don't nobody want to hire you anyway, no matter how qualified you are. Crack it is.
Yes.
I'm not taking accountability away from anybody that was on drugs, but I'm just saying, like, don't point the finger, because you probably would have been a crackhead too, whoever pointed the finger, if you was in that situation. I'm just saying. But back to you should have, I mean, it's just more to this, that you should have really been on crack. Like, you should have been the ones. Thank God.
Yeah.
Like you really should have, but you still pushing. I guess your crack was love, like you said.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, because I was searching for that love that I remember getting from my father.
Yeah.
You know how they always say a little girl experiences love from her father first.
Yeah.
Like, her father shows her how she is supposed to be treated. And because of the memories that I had for the first 5 years of my life, I searched for that. So when a man showed me that in the beginning, I clung to it.
Yeah.
And once they showed me another side, I stayed because I remember the good things.
Yeah.
And it was not good. It was not good for me.
Yeah.
But it took so long to realize that's what I was doing.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna love you like your daddy.
Right.
Nobody's gonna love you like your daddy.
Yeah.
And because I am a father, and I mean like that and I wouldn't say that I'm a dysfunctional father. I love my babies, and I'm not a dysfunctional father. And I know my babies know that I love them, and I can only imagine that. So you get into your first relationship, and you don't even know what a male's love looks like. You know what a female's love looks like. So now this is my model of a gun to my head. Love you like your mom. My mom said, love you like your mom. Thank you. But you get this model of the first man in your life, and he put a gun to your head and kick you out the door and break your phone. And now, what else do you have to model it after? You really don't have anything. Okay, we could get better than this, but I mean, like, that's the standard now.
Yeah,
so
it really was. It was very much the standard during that time. So a lot of people, I wasn't the only one going through that. Matter of fact, not too long after I moved from Gary, I had read a story in the Post Tribune that a girl had gotten dropped on the overpass of the highway by her child's father, and she was pregnant, and they already had a kid.
Oh my God.
And this was happening like every other day. Somebody else was getting locked up, or they was killing they baby mamas. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This crazy.
Well, it's a I believe that it's a different dynamic. Look, I'm no psychiatrist or I can't get into the mind, but I can speculate. I think a lot, and I can speculate that on the other side of that, a lot of these boys didn't have fathers around. And so
Exactly.
you used to your mom babying you, so you
Yeah.
baby boy.
Yeah, either that or they saw abuse growing up
That yep.
and they
Yep.
mimic what they see.
Yeah. So just like that's what they think a man is, it's okay. You know what I mean? I know
Yeah.
deep down you don't think that's what a man is supposed to do, but if that's what you saw, that's your standard.
Yep.
That's your standard of what it's supposed to be like. If he wasn't around, I'm looking at the boys and maybe you might not even seen a man around. You know, maybe your mom kept it away, but you don't know what a male's love is supposed to look like.
Right.
And so like when you get with this woman, you think that she's supposed to treat you like your mom. And ain't nobody gonna love you like your mama.
Right.
that's going back to last week's episode. Look, ain't nobody gonna love you like your mama. they not.
Yeah.
Your mother is going to this. Nobody's gonna show you that kind of love. So men get into these relationships sometimes. I think they're looking for their mother's love, and it's not really gonna be that. You know what I mean? Your mother loves you unconditionally.
You might get close, but
Right? Yeah.
I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, right. Because you don't have. Look, ladies, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? It's. I say that the world hates men, and but at the same time, that's a heavy burden to bear. You grown.
It's a different type of love. You get what you get from your woman, and
Yes.
you go to your mama house, and you get what you get from her.
Yes, and I think that's what a lot of men are looking for. Is they looking for unreciprocated love. I want this love, but I don't want to give nothing back.
Right.
You know, I'm so yeah. That's not right. But people are crazy. that was the comment that came through on when you was talking about heard somebody getting dropped from the overpass. What the heck is wrong? But you're in Fort Wayne. You with this guy. Everything good?
No. Everything was great in the beginning. But 6 months in, he became very abusive, angry.
The standard. Yeah.
I realized quickly that I moved to the weed capital of Indiana.
Where? Fort Wayne?
Yes.
Really?
Everybody and their mama smoked weed. And I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was every day. Friends come over, they were smoking every single day. Now I'm young, I'm not a saint, I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I was smoking too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right.
But had I not been in that environment, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
So and then I just started getting irritated because friends and family was over all the time. Like me and my friend had a nickname for them called the Get Along Gang because they was with each other 24/7.
Right.
So I mean, literally, get off work, come over, smoke, play video games, and I used to be like, "Oh my gosh, if y'all don't get the hell out of my house."
Yeah, right.
But I mean that, and it was a bad relationship. I stayed in that for 3 years, and eventually it dissolved. And
him and the Get Along Gang. You said he was fine for 6 months, but you do know that once that standard is set in your head, if you hadn't had that standard of your first set in your head, you probably would have seen the signs. You know what I mean? You probably there's always signs. Yeah, you would have seen it, but now you in that. And how old are you now? At that time,
I was 22 then.
22.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot.
I know.
It's like 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
So did you kind of step away from men for a minute just to like?
No. I didn't really have like any serious relationships, but I was just like, I'm about to be free.
Yeah.
So I was just kicking it. I started going out all the time.
Yeah.
I was just doing me.
Yeah. Yeah. But not really focused business wise.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So what brought you? So now going forward, you was kicking it. What brought you to the point after so many years to be the business funding Airbnb queen? Like what kind of opened you up?
Well, it was a couple things. The recession of 2008
Yeah.
happened. I was smack dead in the middle of that. I lost 2 jobs 2 years in a row during that
Wow.
time. It was a very hard struggle financially, and of course, 2008 was the last year that I got that annuity check.
Oh.
And right after that is when everything hit the fan.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here kicking myself in the butt, like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do now?
That's that woke me up too. I went to Canada. I had to work in Canada
Oh wow.
as an iron worker outside in Canada.
Wow.
I literally look. I remember. I always tell people this story. We had a comment. She said they really are. Mama love you no matter what. You lay hands on me, the love is going.
You got to
That's
do it.
yeah. I feel you. But but you can't like that. That was a lot of women like you. That was their standard. And if that's your standard, then you ain't gonna catch a bullet. It's just a regular day.
Right.
It's just a regular day. I got my butt whooped again, and this, and he ain't put a gun to my head though, so it's a regular day.
Yeah.
But back to the recession. Yes, I was in Canada, and I went outside, and I did see. I worked in negative 40-degree weather,
Wow.
negative 40 degrees, and then that should have woke me up, and having to go to a different country and work. But yeah, I was in it with you. I almost lost my house. I know people. One of my guys who's in the trade with me, who's an iron worker, said that he lost everything. Even the dog ran away, and his woman was like, "You need to get it together, or I'm leaving too." But he said she stayed.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, she stayed. But yeah, that was a rough time for the country.
Yeah.
For the country,
everybody was struggling.
Yeah,
so
everybody.
You couldn't call anybody.
Yeah.
You had to figure it out.
Yeah, that was bad. So you kind of woke up. Now that's 2008. I understand. Maybe some other people understand, but what happened from 2008? So maybe you got back on your feet.
I did. I did everything I could. I went to the Harvest Food Bank line to get food. I went to Township. I went to the churches. I went everywhere to try to get help. And then, of course, I was filling out applications every day. Didn't have internet at home, so I had to go to the library. I was walking, so I wouldn't use the gas in my car because I had no money. I was broke, like broke.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I remember you mentioning, and I even put it in the description. You said there were days where, I said she can fund you with $400,000 for your for your business, but I said there were days where you didn't know where your next $4 was coming from for your next meal. You said you made some days you made sure your baby got fed, and in true parent fashion, you might have gone hungry.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was sitting on the couch and my daughter, I was having a hard day. It was just really hit me that day, and I just started bawling. Yeah. And she came up behind me and she hugged me, and she's just like, "Mommy, it's gonna be okay." And she didn't know, why I was crying, but just her being the child that she is, and so loving and so caring. She's always been like that. And I remember that, and she remembers it too. And man, it was rough. It was rough having to go without so that she could have.
Yeah. And did she know? I mean, so she remembers you crying, but did she know? Because a lot of times as kids, no, she didn't know that.
She didn't know the hit, the everything behind it. She didn't know what was going on, really. She didn't know.
Right. What did you try to hide it from her? Did you try to talk to her about it, or were you just in a spot where you just wasn't even able to say anything at all?
I told her little pieces to where she understood.
Yeah.
Because she was 7, 8 years old at the time, so she wouldn't really, it wouldn't register her with her. But I did explain to her, like, look, we don't have a lot of food.
Yeah.
This is what you have. And by that time, she was actually going to the Boys and Girls Club, so that saved me a lot. She would go there after school, and they actually fed them. And made sure they did their homework as soon as they got there. So that was a lot of my saving grace during that time.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing. And I finally got called for a job in 2010, the end of 2010, because I was literally this close to moving back home to Gary. And I was like, I can't do it. Like, I got to go back home.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a balance at school because I was trying to get my degree. I had a balance, and I went and talked to the financial aid. I think it was the director. And I said, look, I have been struggling. This is my situation. If you release this, because they told me how much I would get in aid.
Okay.
And I said, if you release this to me, I literally would go straight to the bank, cut you the check, and pay off this balance.
Yeah.
And he said, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was literally able to go get back in school. And then I got a call from the job that I have had for 11 years. They called me and said, we need you to come in for an interview, blah, blah, blah. Did that. That was in 2010. I got hired March of 2011. And the first job in my entire adult life where I had health insurance that I could afford to pay out of my paycheck and still pay my bills.
And how old were you?
This was 2011, so I was 27, 28. 20. Yeah.
Wow, man. Hey, man, like some of y'all dudes should feel real bad. And I'm a man, like we talked about this last week, but like she went through all of that and you found your job with some benefits. I'm just saying. I'm not bashing men. I'm not bashing all men. I'm just saying, like, some of us just need to go a little bit harder. Like, just if you say you can't, like, you imagine that she went through all of that. And you had to be out there hustling. You had a hustler's mindset. If you just found a job. What was the job doing again? What were you?
Oh gosh, something I had never ever thought about doing a day in my life. But I didn't even know what the job was for when I filled out the application. I was just like, I need a job.
Right? Yeah. Who cares?
I had worked before that, taking care of mentally challenged adults. I had never done that before. So it was just like, whoever hired me, I would do it. But it was literally fixing and building engine controls for military and commercial aircraft.
Are you serious?
It sounds fancy. It is not a hard job at all. They trained me. It's definitely a great skill to have. And I loved it. I had 401k, pension, all that good stuff. Benefits, union job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What union were you in?
Oh, goodness. Local 901. You
said what?
IUE.
Oh, you said, you were an electrician?
No, I was not an electrician.
You said IUE. What was it again?
Yeah. IUE Local 901.
IUE. You ain't even know. You ain't care.
I didn't know anything about unions.
Right. You knew what? Look, that was like me. I know this paycheck is good.
Yes. And I learned everything on the job. I gravitated towards the older people, the veterans, as we call them, the seasoned people. Yeah. And they taught me everything I needed to know about unions and work and putting money away and investing in my 401k and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and show them. We about to get into your funding. So folks keep asking about this money. Greg said all he need is 100,000. Let's go ahead and show them.
Can't change my mind. Got too much on the line. Won't waste my time. You better recognize. Don't kill my vibe. I'm feeling so alive. I was born for this. Born for this. I was born for this. Born for this. under pressure, taking what I came here for. Feels like water, don't hit the mold. Nothing stopping this heart of gold. Don't kill my vibe, I'm flawless by design. Can't change my mind, got too much on the line. Won't waste my time, you better recognize. Don't kill my vibe, I'm feeling so alive.
That's dope. So now you done found you a good job and you get in the mindset and take me to Thirkles.
Man.
What is Thirkles?
So that's actually my grandfather's last name.
That's what's up. Okay.
I wanted to have something that embodied my family, and COVID really pushed it over the top. Like, I always knew that I was not meant to work for someone else for the rest of my life. Like, I was literally selling blow pops to my friends in middle school.
Yeah. So you always, I mean, we from your story, look, the hustle was always hidden inside of you.
Oh yeah.
It's just, you know, there's some things that every time the hustle tried to make its way out was just like, boom, get back.
Right. For real, that part. But
life has a way of doing things like that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like oil and water. It's gonna work its way about you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Thirkles. What do you do with Thirkles? When did you establish? When was you don't have to tell us when Thirkles was established, but just in case y'all didn't think she was hustling, let me go ahead. You go ahead and describe it. And I just want to show them something because you out here. I seen you out here doing your thing. You know, I was like, I didn't know she was doing it like that. Like that? Is that Dame Dash?
It is. Is
that Dame Dash? You out here kicking it with Senator Eddie Melton and Dame Dash? So where did Thirkles when was it established? If you want to tell us when it was established, some people hold that against you. I mean, you said
you know, that part I'd love to tell people about this because again, selling blow pops in middle school to my friends for a profit. Fast forward, I started selling waist trainers on my own. This was in 2014. Literally 2 ladies in the city. Shout out to Zetta Crawford and Shamelda Gentry for opening their doors in their shops. They allowed me to literally come into their shops and fit and measure and sell waist trainers to ladies and never asked me for a dime.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, they really embraced me and I loved it. And I mean, I set up the website, I was taking payments, like I was doing all that, and it became overwhelming.
Yeah.
So then MLM, multi-level marketing. I started doing TLC. Before that, I had did It Works. Like, I was doing everything because, again, I knew I wasn't supposed to work for nobody.
Yeah.
And then
let me stop you right there because I be telling people, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, and let me tell y'all something. MLMs, not all MLMs are a scam. Somebody in that mug making money because you didn't make none don't mean it was a scam.
Right.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I said the same thing, but like MLMs will bring the hustle out of you, selling them remote controls and toothpaste, like and somebody out there getting it. Somebody out there doing their thing with that, but all MLMs they aren't a scam. You know, a lot of times what it does is it exposes you to you. I put and a lot of people, instead of them letting it expose themselves to them, they go ahead and you know, we live in a society without accountability, so they go ahead and blame somebody else. No, sir. Like, you knew what it was. You knew you was going to be selling remote controls and satellite dishes. So go out there and do what you got to do and get them other people under you and make that $10 per person. You know, but a lot of people, I did it. You know what I mean? I was out there doing it. Then be the person at the top of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? Ponzi schemes. I understand some things are Ponzi schemes, and I'm not into Ponzi schemes. America is a Ponzi scheme. But
don't get me started.
America is a Ponzi scheme. Your pension is a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Get your money and run. Just do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Get your money. Don't count on nothing. Count on you. But yeah, seriously, like a lot of it probably brought the hustle up out you. I just had to say that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Proceed.
Yeah. So just doing all that, and I realized I was like, there has to be more. And then fast forward, COVID happened.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never lost my income.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely missed the overtime because I was killing it on that overtime.
Yeah.
I literally could work 1 week, knock it out the ballpark with overtime, and go on a lavish vacation the next week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that sweet.
Wow.
But it was too sweet. It was a crutch.
Yeah.
So COVID it forced a lot of people, like, EYL. I started following them during COVID.
Yeah.
And
me too.
Them is the boys right there. And shout out to Ian Dunlap, my homie from elementary school. Like, he is really doing his thing with them.
Yeah.
Days.
She know, look, y'all, if y'all don't know Earn Your Leisure.
Yes. Y'all better get on top of it.
Get on top of it. They don't know me, but I know them.
2 Black brothers, just really sharing information to the community. And I love it.
Yeah. Free. They giving out free game. If you don't know about stocks, her boy Ian Dunlap, who grew up here, I was just listening to one the other day, and he was just talking about he was telling us about Eli Lilly, the stock. Yeah. And he was saying, I know Eli Lilly because I'm from East Chicago, Indiana, and I got a lot of friends that went to Indianapolis to go work for Eli Lilly. And he was saying like, yo, this stock was at $50 in 2017. It's at $300 now. We wouldn't know that. You know what I mean? Listen to these cats. He is a very smart dude. He's about our age. Y'all know Earn Your Leisure. If you remember, this dude is from East Chicago. He's a part of this network. If you remember this Steve Harvey interview, this was watched worldwide. The Steve Harvey interview that he had on that first sweater, this was probably a couple months ago, that went viral everywhere. That's Earn Your Leisure. That was them. That was these cats. My man, Ian Dunlap. I don't think Ian was a part of that interview, but he's in that network with these guys. He's on there with them. They drop all of a sudden. They don't drop like on certain days. Look on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, and look them up, man, and check out this game that they're giving out. Very smart guys. They interview Shine Barrow in a different country. They getting money. They out here getting it. And you grew up with this cat. Don't worry. Look. So
I had a little crush on Ian.
Yo, really?
But we all did. Like, it was cute. We went to school with some fine brothers.
Yeah. But you was he smart? I mean, I know he was smart then too, right?
It was a Christian elementary school.
Okay.
It was a private Christian elementary school. It was the church's school. It was FCC school, Family Christian Academy.
Do I know him? Did he go there?
He didn't go to the church.
No.
But he went to the school,
Oh, okay. Back to your story. I'm sorry, we got off track because these dudes are dope. We had to just say something about it because listen, honestly, listening to them, and I also listened to the Social Proof. It got me to be like, I don't want to just sit and work with somebody and work out in the cold in Chicago till I'm 60. So get up and do something,
right?
Yeah. So you came out the block. Finish your story. I'm sorry. This is what I do. Go ahead.
That's okay. Literally, I was forced to sit still like everybody else. Mm-hmm. So I started listening to podcasts. I started watching YouTube. My car and everywhere around me was YouTube University. Because I still decided to work during COVID, and it was probably about, I want to say 50 people that were still working in my job. Okay. So I was like, I don't want to sit at home and be bored. All I'm gonna do is eat Little Debbie's all day. So
yeah.
Let me go to work. At least I have something to do because everything's closed. So I did that, and I learned so much. I learned about stocks. I learned about real estate. Mm-hmm. I learned about life insurance. I learned about so much that has been going on in the Caucasian world. They all know about this stuff, but we didn't know about it.
Right. Right.
That was the thing. So of course I'm listening, I'm learning, and I got tons of notebooks, and I start sharing. I
Yeah.
got so excited. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what we need to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got COVID for the second time, and this time around I was confined in my home for, it was like 33 days.
Wow.
And yeah, I got it bad.
Wow.
And I said, you know what the hell am I waiting on? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna get my business established
Yeah.
and figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
And so when was that? Was it a year ago or
This was March 2021.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you and now what are you doing? What are you found out about Airbnb? I see you Airbnb queen, and you funding people for up to $400,000. What's the process? What do you do? Let us know what Thirkles is all about.
So I found out about Airbnbs, of course, like during COVID. I actually stayed in my first Airbnb in 2018. So I went to Dallas. I was like, shoot, I got the week off. Let me cut out, because my old vocal teacher, you remember David Binghamton from church?
Yeah.
Yes. Him and his wife, they were doing a live recording in Dallas. Okay. So I cut out 2 days, saw them, kicked it with them, met what's her name? Gosh, the singer. I forgot her name. It'll come to me. But I met Travis Green. I met William McDowell.
Wow.
Yes, all of them. Tasha Cobb Leonard. That's who it is.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I was kicking it. Like,
oh, snap.
Yeah. So, and then that was the first Airbnb that I stayed in.
Okay.
And it was beautiful. Like the couple, they had made an extra room on the back of their house. They put a soundproof wall there. So I had a shower, I had a kitchen, I had everything I needed.
Right.
And I had access to their swimming pool.
Oh.
Yeah. It was nice.
Cool.
So that was my first impression of Airbnbs. And then fast forward, I'm learning about it, and I'm hearing about all this money that these people are making. And come to find out, there was an engineer in my job that had Airbnbs.
Okay.
So I started picking his brain, and come to find out there's more people that have Airbnbs. And I'm like, well, let me find out. So I would literally just walk up to them and ask them questions. Yeah. Like, I'm getting all in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's those of us that have a entrepreneurial mind. Hey, we humble about it. There ain't no pride. I will ask if a bum is sleeping on a nice pillow. I'm gonna ask you where did you get that pillow from, G? Yeah. Like I don't care what your current situation is. I know how to separate things. That's a nice pillow. I know, you sleeping on a pillow out here on the streets, but we don't have no shame. You ask anybody. I airdrop my podcast on the train, and I do
that too.
I don't.
I'll fill my website everywhere.
Yeah, ain't no shame in my game. I'll put a sticker up at a gas pump. I don't care. I really don't, because I'm 40 years old. You think I care about rejection?
Right.
I don't.
And that's it. You have to go through your nose to get that yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just straight up. So you out there you letting people know. So you found out about Airbnbs, and then what where you going with that? What can you do for us?
So started my first Airbnb, and then I got introduced to this platform of funding. So the way that it works is it goes off your personal guarantee. First, before I say anything, shout out to the CEO, Chief Aaliyah. She is amazing. So this company actually was started by a Black woman.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Multi-millionaire. Yes. I love her. She is real raw, and it's not a multi-level marketing company. That's what I love about it. So you don't have to buy in nothing.
Right.
You just get in and you learn the ropes and self-development, and I just love it here. But basically what we do is you use your personal guarantee, so your social security number. You can get up to from 10,000 to 400,000 for whatever reason. A lot of people want to get in and start their business or expand their business, but we do not dictate what you spend the money on.
Okay. Now that's which is, it can be scary for some of y'all. Some of y'all don't need this money. Some people do, because you got to pay it back.
Right. Exactly. You got to pay it back.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Listening to Ian and them, there's some ways around that sometimes. Not trying to lie, but
hey, if they get other money
yeah,
to do it, that's them, but it has to be paid out back some way, shape, or form.
Okay, right, some way, shape, or form. Yeah, don't give me the line. I'm
Yeah.
not, but yeah, some way, shape, or form. But before people get discouraged, it's not the credit score that you have to have is not. It's not like astronomical. Some people probably thinking I gotta have a 700 to get that. No, go ahead and tell us about it.
So the minimum criteria is you have to have a 650 or higher. We prefer a 680, but we will go as low as 650. You have to have an annual income of 27,000 if you are employed, and have no breaks in employment for a year. If you are self-employed, you need to have made 50,000 for the past 2 years and an AGI, an adjusted gross income of 27,000.
Yeah.
You need to have not opened any new accounts in the last 6 months. So that could include increase in credit limit or refinancing your home. Just don't do it for 6 months. And there's a couple other ones. If you file bankruptcy, you can file bankruptcy as long as it's been discharged for 2 years.
Okay, there you go. And like, here's the thing: like, you're giving money, but also, y'all, she's also giving you gain with the money. You know what I mean? You go to her. You don't have to take that 20,000 and wonder what you're gonna do with it. You can go ahead and get you an Airbnb, and she'll show you how.
Yes, we have mentorship programs, and the mentorship is free. We don't charge you extra money. There are no hidden fees behind getting these membership programs. So you can invest in the Turo industry, the luxury rental car industry. You can get an Airbnb. You can either purchase the home with the funds, or you can do rental arbitrage, and you don't have to own the home. That part.
Arbor who?
You're so silly. It's called rental arbitrage. So basically, what you're doing is these homes or apartments or whatever type of dwelling it is, you don't own that dwelling. You're renting it.
Oh, okay.
But you're
That sounds like
renting
a
it out
venereal
on
disease.
Airbnb. Yeah.
Okay, arbitrage.
Oh God.
I learned something new. So you don't have to just go and wonder like, well, what do I need this for? You could get, and a lot of this income is passive.
Yes.
You know, of course you got to listen to these podcasts. I really I'm getting this game. Like, seriously, like, I listened to this Chicago cop who is black dude, Chicago cop. He was working as a Chicago cop for a while. He is a millionaire now. He owns 30 units, 30 plus units, and he doesn't know how to change a toilet. So he don't. I know how to change a toilet. I don't have 30 units though. But
on YouTube.
Yeah, right. But he said he don't have to know how to change a toilet. A lot of people like that, things like that. It will be like, well, I don't know, if the house needs fixing up. Look, man, come get this game. I'm sure Imogene can tell you that there are ways to get around this. If you have an Airbnb, it can be passive. You might have to put out a couple dollars here and there to get some type of somebody to come and make the beds or clean up, but you can literally, if you want to, you can not touch these things.
Exactly.
You can just not touch them, and it could be completely passive, and you just collect a paycheck. You get insurance on it, all that good stuff, and just collect some money and cruise into retirement. Y'all holler at your girl. I got the website scrolling across the bottom. Give me is there a number that they can call, or is the website? I know if you go to the website, I believe there's a chat on the website.
Yes, there's a chat on there. You can text the word funding to 260-440-9495.
Slow it down for the remedial class. Let me see.
You're so silly. Yes. We also have a couple new empires that I want to throw out there.
Okay.
So the health and wellness industry is a $1 trillion industry.
Woo,
It's
it is.
recession proof. So you guys, if you wanted to get into that, we also have its DRIP. It stands for Divine Ripped into Perfection. It's amazing. And again, the mentorship is free. You don't have to pay extra for that. So you just got to qualify for the funding.
Really?
Yeah.
So if y'all want to be down with the drip, go ahead and get this funding.
Yes.
You
Trying to
texting
sound
funding,
you
right? Text funding to what? Hold on, let me go ahead and put that in quotations for you, and I'm gonna go ahead and scroll this across. Talk about your business. Let me go ahead.
Yes.
And this.
So another thing that I wanted to throw out to people, because some people get very discouraged when they see the credit qualifications. I want to tell you guys that you do not need to be discouraged, because if you don't quite meet the credit qualifications, we have a program called the Funding Shark. Yes, it is the shit. Okay. We will look at your credit profile, and we will look at specific things that you need to tweak or fix in order to qualify for the funding. It is a flat fee. It is not like your traditional credit repair where they're going to charge you $200-$300 every single month plus a down payment just to look at your entire credit profile. Okay. We look at the specific things that you need to qualify for the funding, and then those things can be fixed.
Woo, that's what's up.
Yes.
Throw me that number again. We texting funding to what's the number?
Yes, text funding to 260-440-9495.
Let me run it back. 260-440-9495.
Yes.
Okay.
So I expect my phone to start blowing up. All y'all.
Right. Boom, there we go.
Yes. And let me throw this out there. So when you go to the site and you fill out the pre-qualification form, it is just a form, it's just a questionnaire. We do not run your credit at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And we are not like your traditional car dealership where you go there and they'll run your credit 20 times. We don't do that.
Okay.
We don't play those type of games.
Thank you for letting us know that, because me and you talked yesterday, because y'all, I'm not telling y'all something that I wasn't trying. I went through this process, but I went and got an Amex card like the other day that hadn't gone through. But then I'm always about, I've learned about credit, so I'm always trying to up my credit. I'll try to up limits, not to spend anything on it, but just to up limits to have more credit, so it looks like I'm using less. But
that's smart.
I messed around, I'm gonna holler at her. I thought that if I filled out the application, I didn't want to fill it out. I wanted to talk to you first, because I like, man, I'm not filling out no application. They take that 1 point off my credit. I need that. I want my 1 point. That's soft inquiry. People be acting like it's nothing. I want my 1 point. So,
Right.
but thank you because I thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, as soon as I press this enter button, they're gonna hit me. So you telling them to go ahead and fill out the application, and they don't have to get a hit on their credit.
Not at all.
They fill out this application. And so y'all think, oh my goodness, she's not telling you just go get money recklessly. She wants to tell you how to use this money. Like, they're going to give you money, tell you how to use the money, give you this game, and make sure that people can be out there getting it. If you think it's a scam, I think I heard your boys on EYL, or it was one of them. What they say? They said everybody that come to me. No, it wasn't EYL. It was the Social Proof. It was a guy on there. He was talking. He said everybody that comes to me, they say that this program that I'm giving them is a scam. He said, yeah, if you think it's still confused about money.
Exactly.
Yeah,
people don't educate themselves, and there's so much that we need to learn, but we think we're so scorned.
Yeah.
And we don't go out and find out the information on our own, and that's a problem.
Yeah. It's a lot of times people get mad because, again, man, I wish I could bring up that what I shared on my Facebook page it was something along the lines of in order to get better, you have to be able to hear constructive criticism about yourself. How do I not? I'm the one that shared it. And I'm the one that shared it, and I totally forget what it says. Let me see if I can pull this up here. But yeah, let me go past that. It says the degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. The degree to which a person can grow is directly proportional to the amount of truth they can accept about themselves without running away. And that's literally, like, a lot of times we'll call, that's relating back to what we're saying, is we'll call things scams when you did something wrong. It wasn't nothing wrong with the system. You did something wrong, but you do not want to accept that truth that you messed up. I was just talking to my guy today, me and him always arguing. I pick him up for church. He's 70 years old. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to say his name, but I said, you don't listen, man. Like you, I said, he's 70 years old. Don't listen. Because he was in the military. And he was like, man, I know, like, the military, they owe him some money. He haven't gotten, my man was shot in Vietnam. And he ain't got a check. I know people, I know a person that had folliculitis. In case you didn't know, those are ingrown hairs. Okay. And he getting a check from the U.S. government and the military, because he knew the right paperwork to fill out. My man didn't know the right paperwork. He blaming everybody else, and I said, man, like, sometimes things aren't other people's fault. Like, sometimes it's yours. You was filling out the wrong paperwork for 40 plus years, and they not gonna go back and pay you. I said, I did the math on it. I said, that's 480 months of at least $2,000 that you missed out on because you don't know how to listen. I was like, you can't get that back. So I said, so this from here on forward, maybe you should. It's a guy that's helping him out now. Okay. It's a guy that's helping him out now, and he's going to get him right and get him his check every month, because he was like, man, I want a job. It was like, bro, just, you don't have to get a job, man. You, between Social Security and what this guy, like, this guy that's helping him, he getting paid. He's getting paid, but we do things sometimes and we don't listen, we don't pay attention, and then we blame other people, and then we just push it off and quit and say it was something wrong with the program. It ain't, it's not always something wrong with the program. And sometimes, even if it is something wrong with the program, it's still a learning experience that you take to the next program that you go to, and you get that one right. Y'all listen to Imogene, Boss Bibbs, the business funding and Airbnb queen. She can get you right. She can get you the funding. And then if you get the funding, if you get this funding and you throw all that money away, don't be talking about Thirkles Funding was a scam. Because you didn't get the game on how to use the money. Don't be going and throwing her name in the dirt once you get this money. And if you don't get the money, don't go throwing her name in the dirt talking about it was a scam, because she just sat up here and told you that they will show you how to get your stuff right so you can get this. This is a win-win situation, I like to call it. Y'all listen to her. Y'all hit her up. You text this number. Go to the website. You got any more information for her? Because we have been going for a while. Thank you for everybody that's hung in there with us on this Sunday night.
Yes, thank y'all.
Yeah. But
no, that is it. I do want to share some books that I particularly love.
Yeah.
That I feel like every person should have. You got to put good stuff in so you can put good stuff out. So I love Budgetnista. I don't know if you could probably see this.
Yeah, hold it up tight to your camera, because you're.
Oh.
What's the name of it?
It's called Get Good with Money.
Okay.
It's by the Budgetnista. Her name is Tiffany Alish. That's one of her books. Okay. And then there's another one that she has. It's called The 1 Week Budget. The 1 Week Budget? Yes. You're gonna have to send me that one, because who she wrote that also? Yes. She is powerful. She actually, EYO has had her on their platform before. Really? she's just good. She breaks it down for the average everyday American. Basically, you don't have to be a business person to know this, but you really want to learn how to manage your budget. A lot of our financial problems are because we don't manage our money right. Period.
Yeah, I like
Because
to buy
we weren't
things.
taught. We weren't
Yeah, I
taught by
like.
our parents. We weren't
Yeah.
taught in school. So a lot of our generation is learning these things now. And she breaks it down for the regular budget. She has scenarios in there. She has templates, all that. So you guys got to get that book.
I'm getting the book. I am just text me the book. I'm getting that book.
I will.
Thank you so much for giving us this. I mean, you really giving us. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. You can see I drew a blank. I want to tell you and everybody else. I also follow a lady. I think her name is Ellie Loves Money.
Oh, I
And
follow her too. That's my
yeah,
girl.
yeah. See this? Oh my goodness. Man, I wish I can't even get her. She already didn't. I can't get. Well, I can't. Look, I don't like to say can't. I won't say never. She has a similar story, and I see you going. I'm glad I got you before. Like I think I got a couple people before they really hit it, because you about to really. I mean, you sitting up in rooms with Dame Dash. You next week I won't be able to get you on the VNO. I'm happy that I was able to get you. Hopefully, I'm up there with you, but she was on food stamps, like her husband, like this was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And her husband, she ended up getting a divorce. She got 3 kids. She said she out there got an LLC and a food stamp card. Like so, a lot of times, like we thank you so much, Brandy. A lot of times we don't think that 2 things like that can go together.
Right.
Because like we got this, once again, we talked about it before, we got this vision of perfection in our minds, when in all actuality nothing's like that. We're all human. I was just talking to my pastor about this today. We all human, and we sit around other human beings, and a lot of times other human beings and us, we will hide things, and so then we get this vision of perfection in our head, and we don't think that you can have a food stamp card and start an LLC at the same time. No. Ellie's now a millionaire.
Yeah.
Multi-millionaire.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like traveling around the world, and she giving out free game on her Instagram. She don't even know. I don't know Ellie, but I'm just telling people because she helps people. And a lot of these people are just helping people, man. I have that heart, so I understand. Some of y'all evil and you ain't got that heart. So you don't understand why somebody, you think it's a scam automatically, because I shouldn't have said some of y'all evil. I'm sorry. I just ran into a lot of evil people in the last 2 years.
Like the Jamaicans say, you're wicked.
What'd you say?
They say in Jamaica, you're wicked.
Yeah, right. Just wicked. And some people don't know how to. I thank God that I've run into Marcy's. You've seen them comment, and Gina's and Mo's and Greg Gray's since I've been doing this podcast thing, and they've, like I said, I can only thank them. And if I don't talk to y'all, I'm just getting better. I just want to get better so that when we blow up, I can say we and not y'all. But these people are giving out free game, and every people will call it a scam. Oh, I'm not listening to what she say. What's the catch? They think it's a catch.
Right.
I know how it is, man. And you like this too. When you learn something, a lot of times you just want to tell somebody else. Like I'm really like, and I heard, I think Gary V. And if you don't know Gary V, you don't know life. Like I'm sorry. Do you know Gary V? You know Gary V?
I feel like I've heard that name before.
You know Gary V. You might not know him by name. You know Gary V. Gary V is just, he that guy. Like, to get Gary V in the room, if I got Gary V on this podcast, we've been going for an hour and a half. I'd owe Gary V approximately $150,000.
I'm gonna write his name down.
Yeah, for this hour that we sat down and talked, I would owe him probably more than that. He ain't coming. You're gonna have to fly him out, put him up, and give him $100,000 for the half hour, 20 minutes that he gonna talk to you. But I believe it was him that said that it's always good to have you always have a coach and you always have a mentee under you.
Yes. Because
your coach teaches, and you learn from teaching. You know, you will learn more about it. I've learned a lot by explaining things to people. Whereas it might have been jumbled in my head before, when I go and lay it out there and tell them about it, I'm like, oh, now I'm just understanding this now. It was all in there.
Yeah.
But when you teach other people, and there's just blessings behind that too, I believe.
Right.
When you do that. I don't care what you believe in. It's just certain laws to the land.
And you don't have to have just one coach.
What'd you say?
You don't have to have just one coach.
Yeah.
You will have multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. I was asking you. You sent me somebody as far as coaching. This is one of my mentors, Mr. Mo. He said we just doing what we were supposed to do so we can get to dope living. That's right, man. That's what's up. They are Mo, man, it's just for nothing. I just told him I wanted to do a podcast, and Greg told me holler at Mo, and he just gave me a graphic. Like, you talking about, Mo, I owe you, man. Like, when I get this money, like I do. He never asked me for nothing, and I told him, man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be better. That's what I'm gonna do. But he made me a dope. My intro, the first intro I had, where it was like I was just flying all over the screen. He did that for me. Came back and threw it at me. Like, here, he came back like an hour later, and Greg told me, this is what Mo gonna do for you. And people like that, you know what I mean? And man, you got to be like that sometimes. And to give, now, don't get me wrong, you can't give away everything. So some of y'all be mad when people want to get paid. No, no, that's no. People deserve, and if you can't pay them, then find another route. Get to the point to where,
or at least barter. Like, don't expect me, because that's our time.
Yes, the hottest commodity on planet Earth is not money; it's your time.
Yes,
it's your time. I don't care how much money you make, and it ain't enough for your time.
No, not at all.
So do that, man. Y'all hit Imogene up. Thirkles Funding. You want to know about Airbnbs? Get funded. Do you give away, like, say they try to get funded, they don't get funded, and they want to know more about Airbnbs? Is there a price to this, or what does it cost?
We gotta talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. Still hit her up. Don't let that dissuade you.
Yeah.
Don't let that dissuade you. Just hit her up and find out what she knows. You know, she knows somebody that knows somebody. You know,
I have a huge network.
Yeah, that's biggie. So y'all, please, don't help her out. Help yourself out. Help yourself out. I did it. I sat in my car yesterday and I talked to you for about an hour. I pulled probably more time than I should have away from you. Thank you so much again for coming on the VNO. When this book dropped, just like my brother-in-law, SMR Security, his book just dropped. Just so you know, I want to encourage you that he got on this show. I want to say it was my second week, and it was amazing. Y'all go back and watch that. I think it was dope. I mean, it's kind of self-serving. I say that all the time, but it was a dope conversation that we had, and he was in the middle. I don't even think he was in the middle of writing the book. The book is finished. It's dropping. It's hidden shelves. So let that, Nene, let that be a inspiration to you. Go ahead and do your thing, because you didn't even give us half of it. Somebody need to hear it. Somebody need to hear your story and see that at the top of this is a Thirkles Funding. At the top of this story is a SMR Security. The reason that I do the VNO is because of that. You know, of course, I want to highlight what you're doing, but it's because of that. It's to help somebody. Somebody need to hear this story. Reason I've had most of these people on here is because, man, ordinary people with extraordinary stories is just dope. I have talked y'all ear off. Thank y'all so much for listening to me. Thank you, Nene, for listening to me.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Always, anytime. And when this book do drop, you're gonna be on here. Y'all, I'm not gonna take up no more of your time. VNO.
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up?